the finale. So to truly wrap this up, we must comprehend that this is a game, and the game which we're experiencing is almost like a test for our spirit self. And spirit is a frequency, and the frequency of which we all admit to subliminally. Yet within the mental game, we can feel almost completely disconnected from this spirit. The soul itself is more a reflection of spirit, and the soul is interacting with spirit as the reflection. So the soul itself is reflecting the spirit's existence, and the soul is what we can call the reflection. So the mind itself is working with soul to interact with soul, to learn from soul, because soul is ultimately the reflection of spirit, which the mind is able to learn and communicate with spirit, which is ultimately creating this experience, or this game which we're calling the game, of which soul is trying to work with the mind. Now, spirit itself is in its own planet, or whatever you want to call. It's not necessarily a planet, but it's vibrational awareness. It's in its own existence. Its own spirit is almost like an uncontaminated form of ourselves. The vibration of spirit cannot be contaminated by fear, stress, and worry. The vibration of spirit cannot be contaminated by fear, stress, and worry. Fear, stress, and worry does not exist within that vibrational awareness of spirit. It doesn't exist. It only exists within the densities of you could say this reality, this vibrational existence, which we take physical form within. Can it's almost like looking at like an environment to grow. You know, like dolphins don't grow on land because it doesn't work for their physics. It doesn't work for their biochemistry. It doesn't work for just like fear, stress, and worry. It doesn't grow within spirit. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't work for some reason. That's put simply. But at least within this reality, fear, stress, and worry has the potential to manifest. Fear, stress, and worry, it can't manifest in spirit. So the reason why I say that is because that's part of the game for spirit. It's part of the game for spirit, is for spirit to actually manifest within human form, which then reflects as then a soul. And that very soul is that is how the human has been born, is that the human is born with soul and with a mind. And that mind is a whole different game. The mind itself is actually very fascinating. When you actually start to talk about the mind itself, it's extremely fascinating, because the mind itself is its whole new level game. You could say the mind is the canvas, and the canvas is infinite. The soul itself is the reflection of spirit, and spirit is a frequency. So if that frequency wants to paint on the canvas, then that is the expression of our reality, and not just our reality, but infinite possibility, infinite manifestation can take place within the mind. The mind is almost like the infinite canvas which anything can be painted on. It's very, very fascinating, the mind. And what's to sum this up, and to put this quite to sum it back up and to come back down to earth, is that this reality is the spirit's game. Well, more so, it's a game which we can choose to play or choose to be played by. But what's important to understand is that when we leave this reality, we will connect back to spirit, and we will understand that this reality was only a lesson. It was only acting as a lesson for us. Whether we choose to see this reality as a game or just an experience, for those who can connect and rise above the trauma that can exist within this reality, we ultimately connect to this awareness, or what we call spirit, which will bring peace within us, which will bring joy, which will bring this frequency of uncontamination, you could say, which will bring the frequency of purity, which will bring the frequency of happiness. It takes time, but it's possible. And the way we can do this is implement strategies such as healings, such as, activity, such as, great healthy eating habits. It's all about awareness, bringing awareness, opening the mind to infinite possibility, opening the mind to infinite manifestation, not getting stuck on any belief system, because any belief system is only just a thought within infinite possibility. Opening yourself up to infinite possibility itself is the key to manifest infinite possibility. A thought or someone's perception is only existent within a form of imagination. To truly find infinite imagination, we must perceive thought as a possibility, but not only the only possibility. Bow.